You won't believe your eyes. Picture this, the glitziest rooftop in Los Angeles, fairy lights twinkling like 1,000 diamonds, champagne flowing like a river, and every A-list influencer in the city packed shoulder to shoulder at Jessica White's ultra-exclusive white-hot summer bash. The music is thumping, the vibes are electric, and the cameras are rolling because Jessica promised this would be the party of the season. But in one heart-stopping second, everything detonates. Jasmine, the fiery queen of reality TV, and Spice, her once ride-or-die bestie turned bitter rival, go from fake smiles to full-on war, fists flying, drinks splashing, hair pulling, screams echoing across the skyline, tables flip, security scrambles, phones are out recording every brutal second, and the footage is already blowing up the internet like a nuclear bomb. 1 minute they're posing for selfies like nothing's wrong, the next, Jasmine is screaming, "You backstabbing snake. I trusted you with my secrets and you sold me out for clout." While Spice shoves her so hard Jasmine crashes into a towering ice sculpture that shatters everywhere, glass everywhere, blood on the marble. Jessica White herself is frozen in horror, her $1 million gown ruined, yelling, "Not on my night, not on my night." Friends are pulling them apart, but the claws are out. Fans watching the leaked clips right now are losing their minds in the comments. "I knew the friendship was fake." Spice finally snapped. Jasmine deserved that slap. The entire internet is divided, trending hashtags exploding faster than the fight itself. But how did two women who used to call each other sisters end up destroying each other in front of the whole world? What secret betrayal pushed them over the edge? And why was Jessica White's party the perfect stage for this total meltdown? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear next is so much crazier than the video. The texts, the tears, the twisted alliances, and the one shocking confession that made the whole room gasp. This is the night reality TV changed forever. Are you ready? Hit play, because the drama is just getting started. You thought the hook was wild. Oh hey chunny, that was just the spark. Now let's rewind the tape and walk you through how this entire nightmare unfolded. Minute by minute, because what started as a glamorous night turned into the most explosive reality TV meltdown we've seen in years. It all began around 10:30 p.m. when Jasmine arrived at Jessica White's rooftop in a crimson sequin gown that screamed, "I'm here to slay." Heads turned, phones flashed, and the DJs dropped the beat just for her entrance like she owned the place. Spice was already inside, posted up by the bar in all black leather, looking unbothered, sipping a martini, but her eyes locked on Jasmine. The second she stepped through the velvet ropes, the tension was instant, thicker than the smoke from the fog machines. Nobody knew yet that the two of them had been beefing in DMs for weeks, but the body language screamed war. Jasmine made her rounds, hugging influencers, air-kissing cheeks, laughing loud for the cameras, while Spice stayed glued to her spot, watching every move like a hawk. Then came the first crack. Jessica White herself pulled Jasmine aside near the infinity pool for what looked like a sweet bestie catch-up. Cameras caught Jessica whispering something. Jasmine's face changed from glowing to stone cold in half a second. She nodded slowly, then glanced straight at Spice across the crowd. That look, pure venom. Spice caught it, raised her glass in a mock toast, and mouthed something nobody could hear, but Jasmine's reaction said it all. She stormed over heels, clicking like gunshots on marble. The crowd parted like the Red Sea, sensing drama. Jasmine got right in Spice's face, voice low at first but sharp enough to cut glass. "You really thought I wouldn't find out?" Spice didn't flinch, just smirked and leaned in closer. "Find out what? That your man's been texting me good morning every day for the last month." Jasmine's eyes widened for a split second, then narrowed into slits. "You lying?" Spice pulled out her phone, slowed, dramatic, swiped open messages, and turned the screen toward Jasmine. The glow from the screen lit up both their faces, showing a string of texts, heart emojis. "Good morning, beautifuls," the works. Jasmine snatched the phone. Spice yanked it back. They tussled for it right there at the bar. Security hovered, but Jessica waved them off, thinking it was just girls being girls. "Big mistake." Jasmine's voice rose now, echoing over the music. "You went after my fiancé, after everything I told you, after I cried on your couch about him cheating last year." Spice laughed, bitter and loud. "Cried? You cried because he cheated with someone else, and now you mad he upgraded to me." "Upgraded?" Jasmine's hand flew up fast, open palm connecting with Spice's cheek so hard the slap rang out like a gunshot. The entire rooftop froze. Music kept playing, but nobody danced anymore. Phones shot up, recording from every angle. Spice touched her face, stunned for one heartbeat, then lunged. She grabbed a fistful of Jasmine's weave, yanked hard. Jasmine screamed, shoved Spice backward. Spice stumbled into a high-top table, cocktails crashing, glass shattering everywhere. Jasmine charged again, nails out scratching at Spice's neck. Spice swung wild, connecting with Jasmine's jaw. They were full on fighting now, rolling across the floor, kicking heels, flying dresses, ripping. Friends rushed in trying to separate them but got caught in the chaos. One influencer got elbowed in the face, another's phone screen cracked when Jasmine kicked it out of her hand. Jessica White was screaming from the sidelines, "Not on my night. Stop it right now." But her voice drowned in the shouts. Security finally pushed through, grabbing Spice first. She was on top. Swinging, Jasmine grabbed a champagne bottle from the floor, smashed the neck off jagged glass, glinting under the lights. Everyone gasped. "Jasmine, you crazy." Spice yelled, kicking free from security, lunging again. The bottle missed by inches. Security tackled Jasmine to the ground. She dropped it, rolled away, still clawing. Blood was on the floor now from a cut on Spice's arm. Jasmine's lip was split, mascara running down both their faces, mixing with sweat and tears. The crowd was divided, some cheering, some horrified, some live-streaming with captions, "This is insane." Hashtags already trending, Jasmine v Spice rooftop brawl, white-hot chaos. Jessica finally got between them, arms outstretched, tears in her eyes. "Please stop, you're ruining everything." But Jasmine pointed at Spice, shaking. "Ask her what she did. Ask her why she leaked my private voicemails to the blogs last week." Spice wiped blood from her lips, smirking through the pain. "Because you deserve to be exposed. You fake, you phony, you been playing victim for years while you out here doing the same dirt." Jasmine's chest heaved. She looked around at all the phones recording, realization hitting her. This wasn't just a fight, this was public execution. She turned to Jessica, voice breaking. "You invited us both knowing we were beefing." Jessica's mouth opened. No words came out. The betrayal hung heavy. Spice laughed again, colder this time. She didn't just know, she encouraged it. Wanted the views, wanted the drama. Jessica shook her head, frantic. "That's not true, I just wanted us all to squash it tonight." Jasmine didn't buy it. "Squash it? After what she did? After you told me Spice was talking behind my back?" Jessica froze. Jasmine kept going. "You fed me lies too, didn't you? You wanted us to tear each other apart, so your party would go viral." The rooftop went dead silent, even the music seemed to lower. Jessica's eyes darted around, searching for an escape, but every influencer, every camera was locked on her now. Spice stepped forward, wiping more blood. "Tell her, Jessica. Tell her how you sent me the screenshots of Jasmine talking trash about me. Tell her how you said I should hit her where it hurts." Jessica's face crumpled. "I didn't mean it like that, I was just venting, I was drunk." Jasmine laughed through tears. "Drunk? You've been plotting since day one." The three of them stood there, Jasmine and Spice, bruised, bloody, Jessica in the middle, looking smaller than ever. The crowd murmured, growing louder, fans outside the party already posting clips captioning "Triple Betrayal" at Jessica White's bash. Security finally dragged Jasmine and Spice towards separate exits, but not before Jasmine turned back. One last time, staring straight into the main camera that had been rolling the whole time. "This ain't over. You hear me, Spice? This ain't over." Spice blew a bloody kiss back. "Bring it, baby, I'm ready." The doors slammed, they were gone, but the damage was done. The party that was supposed to be iconic had become infamous in under 20 minutes. Phones kept buzzing, notifications, exploding DMs, flooding comments, going nuclear. The internet was eating it up, dissecting every frame, every word, every betrayal. But nobody knew yet about the texts that dropped an hour later, the voice notes. The receipts still sitting in someone's camera roll, waiting to detonate phase 2 of this war. Because what happened on that rooftop was only the beginning. The real explosion was coming, and it was about to burn everything down. But the night didn't end when security hauled Jasmine and Spice out those rooftop doors. Oh no, the real firestorm ignited the second those elevator doors closed behind them. Jasmine was dragged to one private suite downstairs, still fuming, mascara streaked like war paint. Security guys holding her arms like she was about to bolt back upstairs and finish the job. She snatched her phone from her clutch hands, shaking so bad she almost dropped it. First thing she did, opened her messages, and there it was, the notification that made her stomach drop. A group chat titled "Inner Circle No Spice" had blown up 47 new messages. She scrolled fast, heart pounding. Screenshots, voice notes, old DMs between her and her fiancé that she'd sworn were deleted. Spice had somehow gotten them all, and was posting them one by one with captions like "See, the real Jasmine talks behind everyone's back, and this is who y'all stan." Jasmine's breath hitched. She hit record on her own voice note, voice cracking but venomous. "You think you hurt me, Spice? You just lit your own grave. Watch what happens next." She sent it to the group, then blocked Spice everywhere. Up on the roof, the party was in shambles. Half the guests had left, the other half were still circling the broken glass and spilled Champagne like crime scene tourists taking close-ups for their stories. Jessica White was in full damage control mode, pacing near the DJ booth, phone glued to her ear, yelling at her PR team, "Get the footage down now. I don't care how, delete every clip, I will sue every single account." But it was too late. The main fight video already had 3 million views in under an hour, trending #1 worldwide. Influencers who'd been neutral started picking sides live on their phones. One big TikTok star posted, "I always knew Spice was messy, but Jasmine swinging that bottle. Unhinged." Another said Jasmine had every right, Spice crossed every line. The comments sections turned into battlegrounds, fans arguing, typing in all caps, throwing around receipts nobody even asked for. Down in the suite, Jasmine's manager burst in breathless. "We got a problem bigger than the fight." Blogs just dropped a blind item saying Jasmine paid someone to hack Spice's phone last month to get dirt on her new single. Jasmine's eyes went wide. "That's a lie, I never." Her manager cut her off. "They have proof, timestamps, emails, it's bad." Jasmine sank onto the couch, head in her hands. This wasn't just about a man anymore, or leaked voicemails, this was career-ending, if it stuck. She looked up, voice small. "Call my lawyer. Tell him we're countersuing for defamation, invasion of privacy, whatever it takes." Meanwhile, Spice was in a different elevator car, icing her jaw in the back of a black SUV, her best friend driving. Blood still dried on her arm from the scratch Jasmine's nails left. She kept replaying the fight in her head, the slap, the yank, the bottle. Part of her felt victorious, part terrified. Her phone buzzed, non-stop group chats, DM requests, brand partners. Pulling back already one email from her music label, "We need to talk ASAP." Spice laughed bitterly, wiped a tear she didn't even know was there. "They all turn quick, don't they?" Her friend glanced over. "You good?" Spice nodded, lead. "Yeah, I'm good." But inside she was spiraling. She'd come to that party to confront Jasmine about the texts, not to brawl, not to become the villain of the internet overnight. She opened her notes app, started typing a long post, delete it, rewrite it, delete again. Finally, she hit send on X. Tonight wasn't supposed to go like this. But when someone betrays you repeatedly, smiles in your face while stabbing you in the back, what do? You fight. Jasmine, you wanted smoke, you got it. But know this, the truth is coming, and it's uglier than that fight. She attached one single blurry photo, a screenshot of Jasmine's fiancé in her bedsheets, tangled hair, wild post-hookup glow. Timestamped 3 weeks ago. The internet lost it all over again. Retweets in the tens of thousands, quote tweets calling Jasmine every name in the book. Others defending her, saying Spice is obsessed, move on. Back at the rooftop, Jessica finally shut the party down. Lights came up harsh, revealing the wreckage overturned. Chairs, broken bottles, lipstick smears on the marble. She sat on the edge of the pool, feet dangling, crying quietly into her hands. Her assistant knelt beside her. "It's trending everywhere, they're saying you orchestrated it." Jessica looked up, eyes red. "I didn't, I swear, I thought they could talk it out." Her assistant sighed softly. "You fed both of them info, you played both sides." Jessica shook her head. "No, I was trying to protect my brand, my friendships." But deep down she knew the assistant was right. She'd whispered just enough poison to each of them, hoping the drama would boost her visibility. Now her name was attached to Betrayal Central. She pulled out her phone, started typing an apology post, hands trembling. "To my sisters, Jasmine and Spice, I'm so sorry tonight got out of hand. I never wanted anyone hurt. Love you both, let's heal." She hit post, watched the likes trickle in mixed with angry comments. "You fake, you messy host, you ruined them." She turned the phone face down, couldn't look anymore. By 2 a.m., the first major outlet dropped an article, "Jasmine and Spice's explosive brawl at Jessica White's party. Insider claims years of built-up resentment over men, money, and music deals." They quoted anonymous sources saying Jasmine had been shading Spice in recording sessions, calling her a one-hit wonder. Spice had been telling producers Jasmine was difficult to work with. Old beefs resurfaced, new ones born every minute. Jasmine's fiancé finally surfaced, posted a cryptic story, black screen, white text, "Loyalty over everything." No tag, no explanation, but the internet read it loud and clear. He was siding with Jasmine. Spice saw it through her phone across the car seat, screamed so loud her friend had to pull over. "You pick her. After everything." She started sobbing, ugly raw tears. The betrayal cut deeper than any slap. Back in her suite, Jasmine watched the same story, refreshed it 10 times. She texted him, "Thank you baby, I knew you had my back." He replied, "Always." But even as she typed it, doubt crept in. Those texts Spice showed weren't fake. She knew that now. She stared at her reflection in the dark window, split lip, swollen eye, wondering how her perfect life had crumbled in one night. The sun was starting to rise over LA, but for Jasmine, Spice, and Jessica, the darkness was just beginning. Because while the world slept, the next bomb was already ticking in someone's inbox. A folder labeled final receipts ready to drop, and when it did, nothing would ever be the same again. The alliances would shift, the apologies would turn to accusations, and the three women who once ruled the timeline together would be forced to face the ugliest truth of all: maybe none of them were ever really friends. Just three queens playing a dangerous game on a rooftop stage, and now the curtain had fallen, leaving only blood glass and broken trust behind. But the story wasn't done, not even close. Phase 2 was loading, and the internet was about to witness a war that would make tonight's fight look like child's play. As the first rays of morning sun hit the Los Angeles skyline, the real war moved from rooftops to screens, and it hit harder than any punch thrown the night before. Jasmine woke up in her Hollywood Hills mansion, head pounding from one too many post-fight shots. Her fiancé already gone to the gym, leaving her alone with the fallout. She grabbed her phone, notifications in the thousands. First thing trending was her name, next to Spice's, next to Jessica's, in every possible combination. She opened X, and there it was, Spice's post, with that damning bedroom photo already at 400,000 likes. Jasmine's stomach twisted. She zoomed in, recognized the sheets, her sheets, the ones she bought in Milan last summer. The timestamp burned into her brain 3 weeks ago while she was in New York, shooting a campaign he'd told her he was working late. She didn't cry this time, rage replaced tears. She hit record again, no makeup, hair, wild eyes, bloodshot. Spice, you want to play dirty? Let's play. She uploaded it raw, no filter, no edit, just her staring straight into the lens. I gave you everything, my secrets, my home, my trust, and you slept with my man, then posted proof like a trophy. You're not a friend, you're a vulture. But here's what you don't know, I have years of your dirt too. Music deals you stole, songwriters you ghosted, brands you scammed. Keep coming for me, and I'll bury you. She hit post, watched the views climb in real time. Within minutes, the replies flooded, split down the middle. Team Jasmine screaming justice, Team Spice calling her delusional. Her fiancé texted her, babe, turn your phone off, we'll handle this. She replied, no, I'm handling it my way. Across town, Spice was holed up in her West Hollywood condo, blinds drawn, curtains shut, her best friend scrolling through comments, reading them aloud, some supportive, some vicious. Spice sat on the floor, back against the couch, knees to chest, staring at Jasmine's new video looping on her laptop. The words stung, but what hurt more was the realization that Jasmine wasn't bluffing. Spice had skeletons, plenty of them. That feature she claimed was all her. Ghostry, that brand deal she bragged about, fell through because she missed deadlines and talked trash about the CEO. She'd vented it all to Jasmine over late-night wine. Now those confessions felt like loaded guns pointed at her head. Her phone rang, her manager. Spice, don't post anything else, the label is furious, they're talking about dropping the single rollout. Spice whispered, what do I do? Her manager sighed, you either apologize publicly or double down, but if you double down, you better have receipts, because Jasmine just declared nuclear war. Spice hung up, opened her drafts, started typing an apology, deleted it, tried again. Finally she went live, no warning, just her face puffy from crying, ice pack on her jaw. Y'all, I'm not perfect. Last night was messy, I was hurt, angry, betrayed. Jasmine and we've been through too much for it to end like this. I'm sorry for how it went down, sorry for the photo that was low even for me. But she's not innocent either. We both did dirt. Maybe we both need to sit down and talk, no cameras, no internet, just us. She paused, wiped her eyes. Jessica, if you're watching, you played a part to stop acting like the innocent host. We all need to do better. She ended, the live views peaking at 200,000 hearts, mixed with flames in the comments. Some fans softened, others called it damage control. Too late. Jasmine watched the live from her bed, laughing bitterly. Apology. After you posted my man in your bed. Nah sis, you don't get to flip the script now. She texted her PR team, flood the timeline with positivity post, throwbacks of me and my girls. Before Spice show the world who the real one is. Within the hour, old photos surfaced, Jasmine and Spice at Coachella, hugging, laughing, captions like sisters forever, now looking ironic as hell. Fans ate it up, commenting how fake it all was. How could they smile like that knowing the knives were out? Jessica White hadn't slept either, she'd been on crisis Zooms since 5 a.m., her team scrambling to scrub her name from the narrative. Every major blog had her quoted as the orchestrator, the one who invited both, knowing the beef. Her apology post sat at negative likes, buried under quote tweets calling her messy, manipulative, thirsty for clout. She finally posted a video sitting in her living room, soft lighting, tears already falling. I want to say I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. Last night was supposed to be about love, unity, celebration, not pain. Jasmine, Spice, you both mean the world to me. I never wanted this. I messed up, I said things I shouldn't have, I fueled fires I should have put out. Please forgive me. I'm stepping back from socials for a while to reflect. Love you both always. She hit post, turned her phone off, threw it across the room. But the internet doesn't forgive that easy. Old clips resurfaced, Jessica laughing about Jasmine's man troubles. Jessica texting Spice shade about Jasmine's new single. Receipts everywhere. One viral thread compiled everything, timestamped proof that Jessica had been the puppet master. Whispering in both ears, pushing them toward collision. The thread hit 1 million views, comments exploding. She's the real villain here, cancelled Jessica White. By noon, sponsors started dropping. Jasmine lost 2 brand deals. Spice's upcoming collab got postponed indefinitely. Jessica's partnered event next month quietly cancelled. The money was bleeding out fast. Jasmine's fiancé finally came home, found her staring at the wall. He sat beside her, pulled her close. We'll get through this, baby. She looked up, eyes hard. Did you really sleep with her? He hesitated too long. It was one time she came onto me. I was drunk. I regretted it. Jasmine pulled away, stood up. You regretted it, but you kept texting her good morning. He reached for her. She stepped back. Get out. He begged. Jasmine, please. She pointed to the door now. He left. She locked it behind him, sank to the floor, sobbing for real, this time ugly broken sounds. Across the city, Spice got the call her single was shelved, label citing current climate to toxic. She threw her phone, screamed into a pillow, then called her mom, who answered on the first ring. Baby, what's happening? Spice broke down, told her everything, the fight, the photo, the live, the fallout. Her mom listened quiet, then said, you know what you did wrong, now fix it. Apologize for real, no excuses, and mean it. Spice nodded, even though her mom couldn't see. I will, mama. But first I need to talk to Jasmine, woman to woman, no internet, no cameras. She texted Jasmine one word, truce. Jasmine stared at the message for 10 full minutes, thumb hovering over reply. Part of her wanted to say, hell no, keep the war going. But exhaustion won. She typed back one word, when, where. Spice replied, my place tonight, 8, no phones, just us. Jasmine sent back scene. The stage was set for round 2, not with fists, but with words, truths, long buried. While the world speculated, argued, memed, the 3 women prepared for a conversation that could either end the chaos or ignite something even deadlier. Because apologies were on the table, but forgiveness, that was still miles away, and the internet was watching, waiting for the next shoe to drop, the next leak, the next betrayal. The queens were wounded but not defeated, and in this game only one could walk away unbroken. The clock was ticking toward 8 p.m., and whatever happened behind closed doors tonight would either heal the scars or rip them wide open all over again. The internet held its breath, but the real explosion, it was coming from inside the room where old friends, old enemies, old secrets would finally face the light, and nothing would ever be the same. The clock ticked closer to 8 p.m., and the air in Los Angeles felt heavier, like the whole city knew something big was about to break behind closed doors. Jasmine pulled up to Spice's West Hollywood condo in her matte black Range Rover, tinted windows hiding the bruises still blooming on her cheek. She sat in the driver's seat for a full 5 minutes, gripping the wheel, breathing deep, trying to decide if this was the dumbest or smartest thing she'd ever done. Finally, she stepped out, heels clicking on the pavement, walked up the steps and knocked once sharp. Spice opened the door, no makeup, oversized hoodie hair, in a messy bun, looking smaller than she ever had on camera. Come in. Jasmine stepped inside the condo, smelled like vanilla candles and fresh coffee, no music playing, just quiet. Spice gestured to the living room sectional, 2 mugs, already waiting on the coffee table, steam rising. They sat on opposite ends, facing each other like boxers between rounds. Jasmine spoke first, voice low, steady. I'm here because I want answers, not more war. Spice nodded, stared at her hands. Okay, ask. Jasmine leaned forward. Why him? After everything we shared, why go there? Spice exhaled slow. It wasn't planned. He hit me up one night, said he was lonely. You were away shooting, he was drunk, I was lonely too. It happened once. I regretted it the second it was over, but then the texts started and I didn't stop them. Jasmine's jaw tightened. You could have told me. Spice looked up, eyes glassy. I tried. Remember that night at your place, when we were drinking, I started to say something about him. You shut me down, said you didn't want to hear negative stuff about your man. I backed off. Jasmine closed her eyes, remembering the moment vaguely. Damn, silence stretched between them, thick, uncomfortable. Spice continued, I posted that photo to hurt you because you hurt me first. The voicemails you leaked to the blogs. That was low, Jasmine. I trusted you with my fears about my career, my family stuff. You used it against me when the blogs offered you money. Jasmine flinched. I didn't leak them for money. I was mad you were shading my single in interviews. I wanted to hit back. It got out of hand. Spice laughed, soft bitter. We both got out of hand. Jasmine rubbed her temples. And Jessica. Spice sighed. She played us both. She told me you were calling me a clout chaser behind my back. She told you I was jealous of your engagement. She kept the pot stirring because drama keeps her relevant. Jasmine nodded slow. I believed her. I shouldn't have. More silence. Spice finally asked the question hanging heaviest. Can we fix this? Jasmine looked at her, really looked past the bruises. Past the anger, saw the girl she used to stay up all night with, dreaming about taking over the world. Maybe, but not tonight. Not tomorrow. It's gonna take time. Spice wiped a tear quick like she didn't want Jasmine to see. I know. Jasmine stood up, paced a little. I'm dropping the countersuit. But you delete those old DMs you have of me, no more posting receipts. Spice nodded. Deal. And you delete the ones you have of me. Jasmine agreed. We both burn the folders. They looked at each other, a tiny crack of something like hope flickering. But then Spice's phone buzzed on the table screen, lighting up. She glanced down, froze. Jasmine saw her face change. What? Spice turned the phone so Jasmine could see. It was a text from Jessica. Girls, I'm sorry but my team says I need to go live tonight, clear my name or the sponsors pull everything. I'm telling my truth. It's the only way. Jasmine's eyes narrowed. Your truth. Spice stood up fast. She's about to throw us both under the bus. Jasmine grabbed her keys. We're going over there right now. Spice didn't argue. They rushed out together, jumped in Jasmine's car, sped across town, hearts pounding. They pulled up to Jessica's gated estate, buzzer going off, no answer. Jasmine hopped out, banged on the gate, yelling, Jessica, open up, we know you're in there. Finally, the gate clicked open. They stormed up the driveway, Jessica standing in the doorway, robe on, phone in hand, looking terrified. What are you doing here? Jasmine stepped forward. We saw the text. You're not going live without us hearing what your truth is first. Jessica backed up inside. They followed, closed the door behind them. The living room was lit, soft candles everywhere, but the vibe was anything but calm. Jessica set her phone down, hands shaking. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was scared. My brand is tanking. My deals are gone. Spice crossed her arms. So you throw us to the wolves. Jessica's voice cracked. I was going to say we all made mistakes that we need to heal together. Jasmine laughed cold. Nah, you were gonna say we attacked you unprovoked, that you were the victim host trying to bring peace. Admit it. Jessica looked away, tears falling. Maybe. A little. Spice stepped closer. You invited us, knowing we were beefing. You whispered poison in both our ears. You wanted the chaos because chaos equals views. Jessica sank onto the couch, buried her face in her hands. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the game. I forgot your people not content. Jasmine and Spice exchanged a look, the first real one without hate in days. Jasmine sat beside Jessica, not touching but close. We're all messed up. We all played dirty. But if we keep going like this, we all lose everything. Spice nodded. So what now? Jessica looked up, hopeful. Joint statement. All three of us. Jasmine thought about it long. No. No more statements, no more lives, no more posts for a while. We go dark. We talk real talk, no cameras. We figure out if there's anything left to save. Spice agreed. And if there isn't? Jasmine shrugged. Then we walk away clean, no more dragging each other. Jessica whispered, okay. They sat there, three women who'd once ruled the timeline, now quiet, bruised, exhausted. No hugs, no tears, just a heavy understanding that the war might be pausing, but the wounds were deep. Outside, paparazzi were already gathering, flashes lighting up the windows like lightning. But inside, for the first time in weeks, there was silence that wasn't angry. It was tired. Healing, maybe. Or maybe just a ceasefire before round 3. Nobody knew yet. But as they walked out together past the cameras, heads high, no comments, no looks. Back the internet kept spinning wild theories, new leaks, fake apologies, but the three of them knew the real story wasn't on screens anymore. It was in that living room, in whispered sorries, in promises to do better. The world would keep demanding drama, but tonight they chose something rarer, peace, even if it was fragile, paper thin. And as Jasmine drove away, Spice in the passenger seat, Jessica watching from the door, all three felt the same quiet thought: maybe, just maybe, they could come out the other side, not as enemies, not even as friends, but as women who survived the fire they started themselves. The internet would move on to the next scandal eventually, but for them, the real work was just beginning, forgiving, forgetting, or at least trying not to destroy each other again. And somewhere in the quiet between them, a tiny spark of the old bond flickered, not dead yet. Not quite. The moment that should have been a celebration ended in a way no one in that room will forget. What started as a glamorous night, filled with cameras, flashing lights, and carefully curated smiles, quickly unraveled into something far more intense. By the time voices were raised and security rushed in, the energy had shifted completely. People who had arrived expecting a polished event found themselves witnessing raw tension that had clearly been building long before that night. As the dust settled, the aftermath told its own story. Guests stood in small clusters, whispering and replaying what they had just seen. Some pulled out their phones, eager to share clips, while others looked genuinely shaken by how quickly things had escalated. It was not just a disagreement. It felt personal, the kind of tension that does not come from one moment, but from a series of unresolved issues that finally reach a breaking point. Jasmine, who had walked into the party with confidence, was now at the center of attention for a very different reason. Her emotions were visible, not hidden behind any performance. She spoke with intensity, her words sharp and direct, making it clear she had been holding things in for a while. There was no attempt to soften her tone. She wanted to be heard, and in that moment, she made sure everyone heard her. Spice, on the other side, matched that energy without hesitation. She did not step back or try to avoid the confrontation. Instead, she stood her ground, responding just as strongly. Her reactions carried a sense of pride and defiance. It was clear she was not willing to let anything slide, especially not in a room full of people where reputation matters. For her, backing down would have meant something much bigger than just ending the argument. What made the situation even more intense was the presence of cameras. Every word, every expression, every reaction was being captured. In a setting like that, emotions tend to rise faster. There is pressure, there is pride, and there is always the awareness that whatever happens will not stay in that room. It will be replayed, discussed, and judged by thousands, if not millions, of viewers. At one point, it seemed like things might calm down. A few people stepped in, trying to separate them, speaking in low voices, urging both sides to let it go. For a brief moment, there was a pause. But it did not last. The tension snapped back just as quickly, like something that had been stretched too far. Words turned sharper, movements more aggressive, and suddenly, what had been verbal started to feel like it could become physical at any second. Security had no choice but to step in. Their presence shifted the dynamic again. Hands were raised, not in aggression, but in restraint. Space was created between the two sides, though the energy remained heavy. Even as they were pulled apart, both Jasmine and Spice continued to speak, their voices carrying across the room. Neither of them seemed ready to let the other have the final word. Meanwhile, the rest of the party faded into the background. The music, the decorations, the purpose of the event itself all became irrelevant. Everyone's attention was fixed on the confrontation. It was the kind of moment that takes over completely, leaving everything else behind. Later, as people began to leave, the conversations shifted from shock to analysis. Some sided with Jasmine, saying her reaction came from a place of truth, that she had finally spoken up after being pushed too far. Others supported Spice, arguing that she simply refused to be disrespected and did what anyone in her position would do. There were also those who believed both sides played a part, that the situation could have been handled differently if either one had chosen to step back earlier. Clips from the night began circulating almost immediately. Short videos, captured from different angles, started appearing online. Each one showed a slightly different perspective, but together they painted a clear picture of just how intense the situation had been. Comments poured in. People debated, argued, took sides, and added their own interpretations. In a matter of hours, the moment had grown far beyond that single room. For Jasmine, the aftermath brought a mix of attention and scrutiny. Supporters praised her for standing her ground, for not staying silent. Critics questioned her approach, suggesting that there were better ways to handle the situation. Every move she made afterward was watched more closely. Spice faced a similar wave of reactions. Many admired her confidence and strength, seeing her as someone who would not be intimidated. Others felt she could have de-escalated the situation instead of matching the intensity. The public response was divided, and like most public conflicts, there was no single version of the truth that everyone agreed on. What stands out most about that night is not just the argument itself, but what it revealed. Beneath the surface, there were emotions, history, and unresolved issues that had been waiting for the right moment to come out. The party simply became the setting where everything finally collided. Moments like these often leave a lasting impact. Relationships change, trust is questioned, Lines are drawn more clearly than before. Even if things appear to settle on the surface, something has shifted underneath. It is not easy to return to how things were after such a public and intense confrontation. As the story continues to unfold, people will keep watching. They will look for signs of reconciliation, or perhaps more conflict. Every interaction, every statement, every post will be analyzed. That is the nature of moments like this. They do not end when the argument stops. In many ways, that is just the beginning. And now, the question everyone is asking is simple. What happens next? Will there be an attempt to clear the air? To sit down and address what really caused the explosion? Or will this be the start of something even bigger? A rivalry that continues to grow with each passing moment? Only time will answer that. If you want to stay updated on everything that unfolds next, make sure you stay connected. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and do not miss a single update. Because if this night proved anything, it is that the story is far from over. And the next chapter could be even more intense than what we just witnessed.